Hi, it's Dr. Gary Coleman here from Coleman Chiropractic in Point Cook. A question that I've often been asked in practice is, what's the best position to sleep in to minimise the stress on your spine? In today's video, that's what I'm going to be discussing. So if this is something that's of interest to you, then hang about and we'll discuss this in further detail. Be right back. Welcome back. When you're talking about sleeping position, it's important to realise that what you're really talking about is your posture while you're lying down. Now, when speaking about posture, people generally tend to think of what your posture is like when you're standing up or when you're sitting. But when we're talking about sleeping position, it's really that postural pattern that needs to be maintained when you're in the sleeping position. So what you need to understand is that when you look at the spine from behind, what you should have is, under normal circumstances, is quite a straight spine. And when you look at the spine from the side, you should see these normal flowing curves. And good posture is all about maintaining that pattern in your spine, whether you're sitting, standing, or sleeping. So today's video is all about how to maintain those normal postural patterns when you're in bed. Now, the first suggestion that I have for you is not something that you should do, but really something to totally avoid, and that is sleeping on your stomach. Now, I say to avoid this because of a number of issues. As soon as you lie on your stomach, it will tend to increase the curve in your low back, increasing the likelihood of irritation through these small joints at the back of the spine. Also, if you consider that when you're sleeping you really want to breathe, you're probably going to have to turn your head to the side. And you notice how that creates this real twist in the spine, especially up around the neck and the shoulders. And I can tell you now, that's not going to do you any good at all in the short term or the long term. Now, authorities tell us that probably the best position for us to sleep in is flat on our back. Now, there are a couple of issues here that we should be aware of, because for some people, when they sleep flat on their back, it does tend to accentuate this curve through here, just like, as I said before, when you're sleeping on your stomach, how it accentuates the curve and causes irritation through these little joints at the back. So what you can do if that's a problem for you is to counter that by putting a pillow underneath the knees. This has the effect of tilting the pelvis backwards and just flattening that curve out a little bit to release the stress in through those small joints. Now, the other thing with sleeping on your back is it's important that you have a pillow that's just the right height for you. If you have a pillow that's too high, what it's going to do is push your neck up or push your head up, and so it increases stress through the spine by taking you out of that normal flowing postural pattern through your spine. So you certainly don't want to have a pillow that's too high. In fact, the ideal type of pillow to have is what's called a contoured pillow, where you have a raised section through here to support the normal curve in your neck, and you also have a dip to support the skull. And by having a contoured pillow, that helps to keep everything in nice flowing lines. The one downside of sleeping on your back is that potentially it's going to increase snoring. So if there's someone else in the bed with you that you've got to consider, it may not be the best option. So if the snoring is a problem, then you've got to consider the next best option, and that is side sleeping. And this is still a good postural position to use as long as you take a few things into account. One is that the pelvis may tend to dip sideways a little, just increasing some of the stress through the low back here. And again, if this is an issue, what you can do is once again use the pillow, but this time between the knees. And that helps to balance the pelvis up and keeping that low back in more of a straight line. The other thing that needs to be considered is the height of the pillow. If you've got a pillow that's too high, what that's going to do is to push the head up and put a bend through the neck that shouldn't be there. Or conversely, if the pillow's too low, you get the bend going downwards, and again that increases stress through the neck which over time is certainly going to irritate and cause bothers. So apart from those couple of issues, if you have the correct height of pillow, if you need to use a pillow between the knees, then side sleeping is certainly a good option, and certainly one that I find quite comfortable. So hopefully these couple of tips have been helpful to you. If we can be of any further help at Coleman Chiropractic, please don't hesitate to give us a call on 0499 974 824, and we will see what we can do to help you. Once again, I'm Gary Coleman from Coleman Chiropractic in Point Cook, and thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon.